So, we were talking about the Oscars a little while ago. We started out with the show saying, boy, y'all spend 11 months of the year talking about, man, fuck the Oscars. Oscars ain't shit. Oscars just somebody's opinion. They don't even know what they voting for half the time anyway. I don't give a fuck about the Oscars, man. And then right when it come around, man, how come they nominate what I like? Where my movie at? Man, they had 2 more slots. They could have got me.
You get a day. This time tomorrow, you are back in sober living.
Yeah, okay.
You do not leave my sight ever. Because for the next 24 hours, you are mine, all mine.
Blind people. I'm not mad at him at all. In fact, I wish he could see all this merch from dtmerch.com. Fuck you. No, fuck you, man. Oh, he could have seen the classic black tee with the white logo. Martin, you could have seen the colors on that logo on the colored shirt right there. Phone covers, all that good stuff in there. Go look at it. Go look at it. Go look at it. It's all there in there for you. And please subscribe. That's all I'll say. You can try the site 7 days for free. If you don't like it, then that's fine. Keep audio. Audio is free for you all the time. But do keep in mind that we get by your support. So if you can subscribe and help us out, we all feel that way. I'm not an exception. I'm with y'all. I don't care about the Oscars. But we talking about it. We up on Oscar. We up on the night that the Oscars are on. Up here watching the show with y'all in suits and everything. We're all full of shit when it comes to the Oscars. The thing is, yes, some movies they get snubbed, as we say. They might not get the attention that you want them to get, but at least somebody's talking about them. Somebody's saying, you know what, they should have got some love. They should have got this. They should have got that. And that's better than being ignored completely. There are some movies out there that are fine films, good films, great films, and people have long forgot about them if they even knew they existed in the first place.
Some of them came out and got critical praise, but no box office love and just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, and that's where it really hurts, man. When you know your movie is good, it got praised, people liked it, even people that saw it came out and said how good it was. And somehow nothing could save it. That's what's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
And so we have a list here of films that we think that you might have heard of, but just forgot about. You didn't even go see it. You gave it no business. Or there's some movies that you might not have even heard of from 2018. Let me bring up. Now this is in no particular order. This is just. I'll just put them in a list. It's not in any order at all. I just number them just for organization.
Sure.
But let's start out with number one. And with number one, and Martin, you'll know these when I bring them up. Just ride along with me.
Okay.
Now, Martin, a lot of people are talking about this one movie out here saying, look, this is the best animated film of 2018, hands down.
My name is Peter Parker. I'm pretty sure you know the rest. This isn't about me. Not anymore.
And it's not about you anymore, not when it comes to this category right here, because while that is a good family film, while it's definitely the best animated film of 2018, I think that the best family film, for me, hands down, goes to this motion picture right here.
I've had a brilliant idea. I'm going to get a job and buy that book for Aunt Lucy's birthday.
I saw that trailer and I have to tell you, just like the first one, I had my hopes down.
I know, you're like, oh, this is going to be painful.
It's a sequel. We're talking about Paddington 2. I think that this is the best family film of the year because, for one, it doesn't depend. It's just so sweet-natured and in the art direction, and it's so beautiful but timeless, man. Mm-hmm. This is something where you don't have to be in on the last film to know anything. You don't have to be in on any kind of property to know the history of it. Man, it is just such a sweet-natured film, and Paddington is so nice that this is one of the movies that Paddington made me want to be a better person.
Well, it's funny because when you talk about how it's just a simple, sweet film and it's good for families, you make it sound like it's sweet but boring, and it's not. Mm-mm. It's actually very funny. You have performances by all these great side characters. In
a just and fair world where we did actually award things for their quality mm-hmm. and for the fine job that some actors do, Hugh Grant in this, he would have gotten a Best Actor nomination.
He did. Oh.
It's no laughing matter. And I should know. I spent 3 years in Les Miserables.
Mr. Buchanan.
I was up late.
He's a goddamn lie. You see, that's one time Paddington wasn't so sweet. Oh, babe, break out this cage and whoop your ass. I'll maul your ass. You keep talking that bullshit. Did he? So he got a nomination.
When the Austin Film Critics Association.
For the okay,
They had him nominated.
I mean, look, I respect my organization, but we are not major like the Globes and the Oscars.
No.
There are things in here such as great characters. There's these there are musical numbers that are incorporated into this so cleverly.
Mm-hmm. It reminds me of we just recently saw Stan and Ollie, and thinking about how funny their movies were to where you can still watch them now and they're still funny. And this has that same kind of aesthetic going on.
And I don't know what it is that made it not succeed. And that's one of the things that we kind of talk about as we go through these. Like, did they just not believe in the film? Did the first one not do well enough to where? So why make a second one if you don't believe in it?
Yeah.
If you're not going to push it, because they really didn't push this, and they dumped it very early, and this hardly got any.
Yeah, it came out.
Any marketing.
I think it was January when it came out.
Yeah. What's his name?
Brendan Gleeson.
Brendan Gleeson is so good in this. This had a great cast, a huge cast.
And it's got a lot of the crew from Harry Potter that worked on it.
Really?
Yeah.
I just think Hollywood is used to having kids' movies where it's either more action-packed, more fast-paced, or they're trying to sell a song. They're trying to
sell toys.
They're trying to sell toys. I just think that this is such an old-fashioned, timeless film that timeless and old-fashioned doesn't sell as well. And somebody kind of got cold feet with this.
And maybe you would look at this and think, oh well, it's not that hard to pull a movie like this together. And then you see the movie Christopher Robin, and you see how it can easily go wrong. And you look back at this and you go like, man, they really put the work in.
Man, I think with better marketing, this could have done well, and for some reason it did not. And maybe they just didn't like the way because Paddington, maybe people just didn't like the way Paddington like just talk shit to people, because Paddington would stop the movie and Paddington would just scold your ass.
But he had a very polite way of doing it, where it took you a second to go, wait, is he talking shit about me?
But he had that stare before.
That stare.
Yeah, I will fuck you. Because he would stare at you, man, and you would feel like shit. Like, I do not want to disappoint this bear. Number 2. So while everybody was out there watching the worst version of this film,
like a bird in the wind.
What the hell are you?
We are Venom.
yeah, while that turd was blowing in the wind, Martin.
I thought he was going to say, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah. While that turd's blowing in the wind and everybody just watching it blow, y'all was sleeping on the better version of this movie. Who would have thought that the one
with the
fake Tom Hardy would have been the one that was better?
Spamy's got a knife!
I see that. We have a knife too.
Oh, now they had a great red band trailer for this, and that sold a lot of people. You didn't get to see it where he just turned this man into a puppet, just ripped his jaw in half. We're talking about upgrade in this case, because as I said,
I honestly don't understand what kept people from going to see it, unless there weren't enough ads for it.
Yeah, it could have been, man. I'm like, I don't know what it is, man. Maybe marketing, but I spent a few days just mad at the world because y'all were talking about Venom, and I just kind of, I felt like I was just like that dude with that sign, the end is near, just like they're talking about Venom. I'm like, there's a better movie out there. There's a better version, you fools. Listen to me, don't get off me. This was the better movie
by far
of Venom. It was almost the same.
Yeah.
Even before Venom came out, we said this looks like what Venom is going to be.
Yeah.
But people watch this. I forgot the actor's name here.
Brian Marshall Green.
He's like, I don't know, maybe. But it didn't have any big actors.
Right.
It was a low budget film. It was from Blumhouse, and I think that's the only saving grace is that.
Yeah, I mean, it made its profit.
This cost $3 to $5 million to make. You know it ain't gonna be 6 because Blumhouse don't write a check past $6 million. You lucky to get 2, but this This was a sci-fi film that actually made the best out of its budget, man. I mean, it looked great for that $3 to $5 million, and it went on to gross $11 million. I think domestically, $11 million, which that's not bad. It made a profit, but man, where these micro-budgeted movies like from Tyler Perry and Jason Blumhouse, where those movies are going on to make like 10 times as much,
Right.
if not more.
Right.
This should have been the one to. I felt like it should have been. It was so good. And it had everything that mainstream audiences wanted. It had great action, a great written science fiction script, an awesome twist.
It felt like it was from the whole thing felt like it was from the late 80s or early 90s. It had a very RoboCop vibe the whole time. And so many movies have been coming out lately that feel like the 90s. A lot of throwbacks to that.
I guess you go to the same old excuse, man, when something doesn't do well. I'm willing to get and have some people tell us what you think it is, but I'm going to guess marketing. Yeah. It had more of an online marketing push than anything else, because it put out that red band trailer, and you didn't really see it anywhere else other than that. Yeah. All I can say is, look, for all y'all complaining about Venom and you haven't seen this, shame on you. Go see it. If you are talking about Venom and how badass Venom is, fuck you.
This.
Go see this. Let's go to number 3. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because we've been talking about this movie for the last 3 weeks.
Yo! Bro! Stop! Stop! Don't stop!
And we've been talking about blind spotting so much that all I can tell you is just go and watch our review for this. Go and watch our talk about the Oscars when talking about this, because that covers everything. With the Oscars right now being reactionary to that whole hashtag Oscars so white, and making sure that they're including a lot of movies of diversity, especially from people of color. Because everybody's clamoring over Black Klansmen, but this really is, if they're hitting that hard. To make movies that not only diverse but have that kind of social message in there too. Right. They dropped the ball by ignoring this one right here, man. I know. And audiences, and this is another one. This definitely is a victim of no marketing.
Yeah,
none.
Yeah, complete none.
You talking about blind spotting good because nobody saw this shit. That was probably the wrong name. That motherfucker hung out the blind spot all through his theatrical run. And it's a shame because the movie works on every level. The performances are great. The director of this film reminds me of a Spike Lee, except with more focus, man. The art direction in this is great. It's just a shame that no one out there saw it until it was too late. Yeah. Because now that this one of those movies, man, nobody paid attention until somebody said, man, it sucked that movie didn't get seen. And then all of a sudden, like, what movie? Barry's like, I
would have voted for that. I didn't know it was out there.
People like, I didn't know it was there. Yeah. Why do you think that this did not get any marketing at all?
I mean, I don't know what the story is with the studio. Why they wouldn't push it? Did they just not want to put the money behind it? Did they run out of money?
I didn't even think of that, man. Yeah. That could be the case, This is I don't even know if the reasoning of it has no money can be used, because Lionsgate. It's a Lionsgate company, man.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, Lions, man, they got money.
Lionsgate don't like black people.
Race. That line racist, man. Nah, man, why? No, it's not a question of did it not get any marketing. It's plain that it didn't.
Yeah, I did.
The question that everybody wants to know, and I say everybody, meaning us, maybe somebody knows, but I would really love to know why that's the case, that it got no marketing. I think that if this had a bigger push, maybe still not an Oscar nomination, but it probably would have had at least better box office.
Sure.
That is actually my top 3 films of the year. And I'm part of the problem too. I did not watch it until 3 weeks ago.
Sure.
Yeah.
Man. But that's the thing.
I didn't know.
But it wasn't there for us to see it.
Let's go to number 4. This one, I can understand why this was a hard sell.
Here, take off your clothes down to your underwear. I am being held here against my will.
Do you know how many calls the cops get like that every week?
This movie, Unsane, was a hard pitch because I think they didn't want to take the risk because of that goddamn phone. They shot this movie on an iPhone, which, as you see right here, it looks fine. But once you bring in all the right lenses, don't think you can go out.
You're not Steven Soderbergh.
Don't think you're gonna pull out this phone from your pocket and be like, oh shit, I'm shooting a movie. Look, nah. The dude had to have a lot of lenses and filters and audio equipment to make it look like a real film. But nevertheless, it's a movie that was touted as being shot on a cell phone. Now, it didn't get much marketing in the first place.
Right.
And when it was marketed to people, it was marketed as Steven Soderbergh is making a movie on a cell phone. And a lot of people are like, well, shit,
I don't need to see that.
People say, look, I make movies on my phone. They look like shit. Well, am I gonna go? Why am I gonna watch his movies? I think that if they had just pushed it as a thriller, because this film, Unsane, is a brilliant psychological thriller.
Claire Foy.
Claire Foy, yes. You really don't know if she is losing her mind, if she is paranoid, if she's bringing this on herself. You really don't know what's happening with her. She was brilliant. This was her movie, man. She was brilliant in this. And yeah, she of course, the bigger movies with the bigger budgets, and that's one thing that should show you how the award shows work. Unless it's a really great way of spending something, it's always going to be the bigger movie with the bigger flash, the bigger campaign, the biggest money.
Yeah, the bigger stars.
The bigger stars that are going to be
named
noticed.
directors.
Yep. This was a simple movie shot on a cell phone, and yet it was a great thriller, man.
It was one where the gimmick of the cell phone didn't take over the movie, and it wasn't half-assed. Because I just thought, well, okay, maybe it'll just be an experiment to see how far we can go with something like this, and it'll be a cheap horror movie. And you're right, it's a brilliant psychological thriller where you don't know what's going on until near the end.
It's not perfect, but there's a lot of brilliant things in there. And being shot on an iPhone, if they didn't say anything, they didn't even have to say anything. You probably would have went in and just thought that it was a very disorienting style that was done on purpose.
Yeah.
Comedian from Saturday Night Live.
Jay Farrow.
Jay Farrow, very good in the film.
Yeah.
It's and the only thing that I could say, being a bonus here, is that on the smaller screen it does look better. It's a shame that this was missed in the theaters, man, when it was out. But I get it, it's a little harder sell than most movies. The only thing that is harder to try and sell than a movie being shot on an iPhone is a movie that's being shot on a desktop. And that is what we have here for number 5. There's a movie that was shot on nothing but a Chrome browser and Windows that will open up on a desktop, and that movie is Searching.
Yeah, I finally got to see it.
Now that is a hard sell because all you're seeing is Windows and browsers. That's it. And I have to say though, and it took me a while to get into it. And Martin, I'd love to hear, because I didn't hear what you thought about the movie. I'll ask you in a little bit, but this stars John Cho, who, first of all, the movie's riding off of his very emotional performance in this. It's almost a one-man show told through computer windows and searching browsers. And he loses his daughter. And the movie's told with him trying to, when the police don't seem like they're being very effective, he goes on a mission to pick up clues himself. I thought that it was a brilliant way to tell a thriller and a mystery using nothing but evidence that was found, through emails and online videos.
Well, because teenagers and 20-somethings are online so much.
Yeah.
They leave such a big footprint online where you can piece somebody's life together from that. The mystery itself is pretty good and sucks me in, and especially trying to figure out, okay, who's done it, has a crime taken place, and who's in on it. And by the time things kind of focus on the brother, I was totally in.
Oh yeah, I was in before that, because I really was, because we had just watched Unfriended, and while I liked the movie, I was like, okay, I hope I ain't seen a trend with this bullshit.
Right. That's why I couldn't make it to the screening, and I was like, well, it's fine anyway, because after Unfriended, I don't want to see no more shit like that.
But it was a great.
This is how you do that.
This is a new way to tell a found footage movie. If it had been marketed to like that demographic of teenagers and young 20-somethings, I think this would have been a better performance at the box office. It's a very small film, and I think they expected it to like just kind of come and go very quickly. But because of that, a lot of people didn't see a really creative thriller, a really creative mystery out there. And and it's a great statement about just while this is a thriller, it's really addressing just how fake people are.
Yeah.
Online, man. You know what I'm saying? Just how fake people are, either being phony people or just people being somewhat sociopathic with their lying. You know, it talks a lot about internet culture that a lot of young people are on. It's a really good film, man, that you haven't seen done this way. It really is totally one of the most original things you will see. And if you missed it, go check it out. When they say that there's nothing being done new in movies, you get something like this.
And then y'all don't go see it.
And then you don't go see it. Assholes. Number 6. This one really baffles me more than anything, man, because this had everything going for it.
Max is very competitive, as am I.
Jesus Christ, Ed Norton.
Oh,
primal fear.
I mean, we're laughing at the trailer. And granted, we've seen trailers where they make us chuckle, and then you watch the rest of them, it's like, okay, they're showing the best stuff,
right.
And the premise is stupid. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I thought, okay, it's gonna be one of those comedies.
Oh, I thought that too.
And we're talking about game night.
Most of the time in Jason Bateman movies, you get one of two Jason Batemans. You get either the one who's complete nebbish and a pushover to the point where you want to scream at him, or you get one who's an asshole. Yeah.
That is so true. That is very true.
And here he found, oh no, there's a third one now who's like a normal dude that you like.
Yeah. No, even then, nah, man, they still were a little bit assholeish, man.
But enough to drive the plot.
Enough, yeah. No, that is true. This had everything that an audience would want. I mean, yeah, the premise looked dumb maybe, but that never stopped anybody. It had a good cast of named people in there that should have drew people in.
You know what it was missing?
What's that?
Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying he would have made it better because he wouldn't have, but had he been in the trailer, then people would have gone to see it.
Well, you ain't lying about that. Hell, you could have made him one of the game pieces. I don't know, man. I've seen movies, nothing different, do well.
Yeah.
This had marketing behind it.
I know.
I'm clueless as to what's happening, and you missed a lot of really funny things in there, man. When I say that this whole cast is great, I'm talking about right down to some people they don't even put in the trailer. Jesse Plemons.
Yeah.
Jesse Plemons as the creepy neighbor. That's why I say, man, Jason Bateman's still kind of an asshole, but you can't really blame him when the neighbor's kind of that weird. Jesse Plemons as the weird, creepy neighbor. He stole the show every time he came on. I almost feel like they should have showed more of that to get people in.
Some people check it earlier in the day, but there's always a risk that the mail carrier hasn't come yet.
3 for 1.
3 for 1?
Yep.
How can that be profitable for Frito-Lay?
Maybe he's the one that scared the audiences off. More of that in there, this type, man, and I don't know because the trailer was kind of funny, but
the trailer's funny, but the trailer doesn't let you know that the movie's smart.
Yeah, but again, that's never stopped audiences. True. That is the one come on, man.
that has scared them off at times.
Yeah. Let's get into number 7 right here, man. This isn't really a movie that was completely ignored, but I did think it was going to be more of a success.
A few weeks ago, I met Emily, this wonderful, elegant person. Our sons brought us together, actually.
Of course, you had Blake Lively, right?
Yeah.
And then Anna Kendrick. I think with the combination of Paul Feig, who people who go to movies know, and Anna Kendrick, who the public knows as being more of a comedy person. I think a lot of people going in expecting a comedy. And
yes.
You know what I'm saying? And
yes.
And this is actually, it's got comedic moments in there, but it's kind of a dark, it's a dark mystery. It's a dark thriller.
Yeah, you could say it's a dark comedy, but it's also a mystery and a thriller. A murder mystery was not something I really expected. The posters made it seem like maybe, but
the posters didn't tell you anything.
Yeah, it didn't tell you anything. And yeah, I went in completely cold, not expecting not only a mystery but a smart one with really just sinister dialogue.
Yeah, I don't think people hated the movie when they saw it. I don't think that it benefited from word of mouth.
Yeah,
like a lot of the comedies of what people might have thought this was would have been benefited from. I know they're not huge stars, but they are names, man, and plus they got Asian Bond in there. I really thought
they haven't given him the job yet.
I'm rooting for him though, man. He got my vote. The guy from Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah.
I thought that coming off of the success of that movie, people would have seen him and probably that would have transferred to this.
He's not on the poster.
That is true, but he's in the trailer though, as we see right there.
Yeah.
Possibly the marketing was too mysterious. Maybe they should have pushed the mystery a little bit more, but I don't know what more they could have done.
It's a problem when you have a mystery that you don't want to give too much away.
That is true. I think it just suffered from so many names of being associated with other genres other than this. And and so while it didn't do it, it's not a failure.
Yeah, it wasn't a failure. It made some money.
It made, but it just once it was gone, nobody talked about it anymore. Number 8. Now you might have seen this. I don't know if you have. I remember seeing this, and even this kind of dropped out of my mind for a while until I thought about it later in the year.
Amanda, this is my stepdad, Mark.
How long are you here, Amanda?
My mom's gonna pick me up around midnight.
Midnight's late for us. I'll call your mom. She can come pick you up now.
She's busy.
Doing what?
Chemotherapy.
Somebody said, ooh, take that, bitch. That's Olivia Cook and Anna Taylor-Joy, and that was the guy from Boardwalk Empire. I keep forgetting his name. Who plays a completely different person? Yeah. But this is Thoroughbreds. Thoroughbreds.
I did not see it.
It's it is quite the interesting film. That
Sounded
is a
like
hard sell also because murdering your parents doesn't really resonate with mainstream audiences a whole lot, but I think what a movie like this is hard to sell to mainstream audiences because not only because of the theme of killing a parent, but it really is creepy. And when I say creepy, it's just these that Olivia Cook just kind of gets under your skin. It's not scary. She's not not anything that you really fear. It's just kind of like, wow, this girl is just so off. And it's just unsettling to be around her.
Well, I thought this was one of those movies that only played at indie theaters.
Well, that's another thing. It was an art house theater, but another reason why I say that this should have been more mainstream. But I thought that the passing of a certain person might have bumped this movie up a little bit more so that people actually pay their respects to this person and go out and see it.
What's he even doing here? I am providing you all with early drug experiences that you will forever cherish. Who the hell are you?
I didn't think you'd bring it here.
And that's Anton Yelkin's last role. At least I believe that's his last role. It says so that is. Anton Yelkin, as you know, died in like a very bizarre and very horrible home car accident. I thought that this is something that might have been pushed more. And I understand it's a hard place to be in. When you try to sell a movie on somebody's death, that could seem disrespectful.
Sure. If he doesn't have on a Star Trek uniform, most people don't know who he is.
And that's why people should see this.
And that could be the same for everybody else in this cast.
But he's great in the film, and if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. Let's get to number 9. This is all you, man. You gotta tell me about it because I hadn't seen this. Can you guess which one it is?
Nope.
Does this refresh you, Martin?
The winner in the category of medicine and health sciences.
This fool like you on a Price is Right or something.
Into classical music that much.
This is Science Fair. Now, like you were saying with the Thoroughbreds, you're saying it's more of an art house movie. This is something that seemed like a smaller film.
It's totally a smaller film.
So why pick this one then?
Well, honestly, out of all the documentaries from last year, this one was my favorite, and it follows these kids who are going to this huge national science fair that I didn't even realize was a thing. I mean, most people don't even know unless you're into that culture. It's a black woman who gets all these kids and turns them into these scientists who regularly win. They are the winning team. They're the patriots without cheating.
So it's a smaller film and it's a documentary. Would this have been seen by bigger audience anyway? Documentaries already now they're kind of niche anyway.
I never expected to get seen by a mainstream audience, but I feel like even from smaller audiences, it didn't get a lot of play.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't hear much about it.
Okay. At number 10. Now, drug addiction is not exactly, meant for the most enjoyable entertainment out there.
Oh, I don't know. I can think of lots of great drug addiction movies.
Oh, I'm thinking about doing drugs. That's awesome. But, watching other people do it, that's kind of a bummer, man. But we got this movie here. But in Hollywood, it's great. Drug addiction makes great dramas, makes great tragedies. Sometimes can make great comedies. But one of the dramas that was out there that didn't get seen a whole lot, I thought that this might be up for an Oscar because of the names that were involved.
Same here.
He's clearly doing better. Then why are you hiding everything?
We said we weren't going to do this again. Remember?
Ben is back, and you can hear Julie Roberts in there. And then we have one of the speaking of young actors that are up and coming. This guy was nominated for an Oscar. What was it, last year?
Yeah.
And who was
with Manchester by the Sea?
Manchester by the Sea. We've been talking about how for a lot of movies to get recognized by any kind of awards committee for any big major show, you have to have people go out there and campaign for it a whole lot. And while Ben is back, had the name Courtney is that his name? Courtney B. Vance is in this. They had a good cast in here, man. But I don't think they had the same campaigning squad as Beautiful Boy.
Right.
Beautiful Boy is a movie that's very similar, and somehow they
campaign the fuck out of that movie.
Oh yeah. For some reason, the drug addicted teenager movie, that's the one that everybody's talking about.
Well, I was saying there was the Boy movie, so you had Boy Erased that also has Lucas Hedges in it, and then Beautiful Boy that's about a kid on drugs. And so when Ben is Back comes out, maybe people thought, I feel like I saw this movie.
So people didn't
it was
even
one
know.
of those two.
Yeah. Beautiful Boy is another one that they're talking about.
Think that you have this under control. I understand why I do things. It doesn't make me any different.
You're just embarrassed because I was like this amazing thing, like your special creation or something, and you don't like who I am now.
And that is Timothy Chalamet, who's also got a lot of attention from a movie from last year, Call Me By Your Name. So you got these two. I mean, they're very similar, even behind the scenes.
Oh yeah.
Steve Carell is the big name in there as the parent, but he's not. It's a Julia Roberts role, I guess. Yeah. It was it was two movies that were competing, man, and one of them just won, and Ben is Back. It has lost. Ben is Back really lets you see the effects of addiction, man. Yeah. And how not only it affects that person, but how it has long effects, standing effects on people that surround them. You just can't trust that person, no matter how kind and nice they seem. They are not that person.
Right.
It's like when you see a zombie. That is not that person anymore. I have a bonus, just a quick bonus right here, because this is a smaller movie. I don't think a lot of people would see it, but I did find it fascinating, and it does. It's another kind of thriller. And more on the action-oriented side.
How many are there? One guy inside the front door, second guy on the top floor.
And that is Joaquin Phoenix, and you would never really hear. He's a hired killer, you kind of heard from the trailer, and he's going to rescue a senator's daughter from some sex trafficking ring, some teenage prostitution ring. And what really makes the movie is his performance, man. It's not, and because of that, it goes into some weird places. because you think it's kind of straightforward at first, but this fool is off. Yeah, he's really disturbed, man, right. And he makes it scary. It's like looking at his character from I'm Not Here or whatever. You remember when he was out rapping? Yeah, it's like that character finally lost his shit and started killing people. Yeah, no,
I got that impression also.
Yeah, it really, I mean, seriously, man, that first movie that he did, I'm Not Here, whatever, that movie's kind of shitty. I'm not gonna lie to you. Combined with this, it's a great double feature, man. Yeah, this dude, he's fascinating to watch because he's so unpredictable, man. And they got a score in here where somebody got a gasoline can and just banging that shit. Dun, 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 dun. It's like, stop!
One of the few movies where I really was like, I don't know how I feel about what I just saw. Like, I feel like I probably need to watch it again.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I loved about it.
Yeah,
I was like, all right, it is not a very straight cut ending.
Yeah, somebody said, "Did you like it?" I'd be like, I don't know. So did you not like it? Well, no, I wouldn't say that either.
You know how you see movies, like you love movies that make you feel uncomfortable.
Sure.
And this did, maybe not in the way that you usually, we usually get them, but man, this movie just made me feel very uneasy watching this. So that's our list of films, the overlooked films of 2018. So if you got any, list. Yeah, no, thank you. Well, you helped out a lot. We had a lot of overlap.
I figured we would.
No, it was a lot of them in there. A lot of them. I like when Martin put in there, man, I don't think people saw Crazy Rich Asians, man.
I didn't know what exactly you were going for. That's why I put it like down here, like maybe this.
No, I got you. No, I got it. Even when I sent that text back to you, I was like, damn, I sound like an asshole.
Oh yeah, you totally did.
Are you stupid, man? People saw that movie. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, can I ask you a little favor? Just hit that subscribe button and enjoy what we have to offer here. And if you really like what we do, then go over and check out our main site, doubletoasted.com. Not only will you find a longer form version of this video, but also the live streams that we do almost every night of the week. Support us at dtmerch.com, and remember to always stay toasty.